Welcome back to ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. My name is Dave Vincent here at the Olympic Club in San Francisco, where the women's final is about to get underway. 10:45 a.m. Pacific time, where we have the great Aisling Riley in the broadcast booth as Katrina Casey is going to go up against Ciana Kareen.
Serving first is Katrina Casey, and receiving serve is Ciana Kareen.
It sounds like we're hearing Peter function there.
Zero,
no, Patty.
Zero.
My goodness.
One of the functions.
Brother of Peter, who won 9th place. Patty, who was also in the event, pulled out of the tournament after making it into the round of 16.
Great rally here to start off.
Side out.
You have to like that ending of the rally if you're in the Ciana camp.
Good ones to win.
Now you got to witness this yesterday, Aisling, as you played Ciana. It's the first time you played her in a while, and you have at the time you had a 2-0 record against her, and then that's her first win ever. Would you? I wanted to ask her. I just hadn't seen her.
Have you
heard that would? Her bragging about that's her best win ever? I mean,
no,
it's quite a feat.
It is, well, I imagine it would be for Ciana, but she played great handball yesterday. You know, she really deserved the win. And,
1-0.
My body's a bit broken today, so she probably was in better shape than I am, to be honest.
Sharp ball.
Isn't it funny? You started playing, you know, when you were
Two
really
green,
young, and you were a prodigy, much like Katrina Casey is, and you seem like you're the older veteran, but you're still in your 20s?
I've just turned 30.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been playing 20 years now.
It's odd, though, how even at 30, your body starts to break down a little bit, and it's such a hard game. But when you're younger, none of that really mattered much.
It's nearly when it's in 30 to the day, and everything starts to creak.
Right. It's interesting. I remember when I was watching you when you were 17, you played just as hard then as you did yesterday, and yet today it's hard getting out of bed. You have a lot of years on those legs when it comes to playing handball. You see a guy like Sean Lenning's been playing on the Pro Tour almost since he was 13.
Yeah.
You know, and you think, well,
1-1.
You know, he's just broke into his 30s as well, and yet he's been on the tour for so many years that when is that body going to break down?
I know.
Second serve.
And you have to admire the players that are older, that excel.
If I'm still playing as good as David Fink at David Fink's age, I will be very happy. Dave looks in the best shape of his life.
It's unbelievable. We're at 1-1 here with Katrina serving. It's a best 2 out of 3 to 15 breaker, also 15 win by 2.
Seems to be very conservative so far. Nobody really going for a kill. Oh.
Yeah, Katrina had an opening on the right side there, and it takes sort of a wide shank to the right corner from Ciana
1-1
to get back into the server's box. But this pace is going to be daunting a little bit later on.
Yeah.
You can't hit, 20-shot rallies every single time.
Seems like they're just playing each other into the game and just waiting for a small opening.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, Ciana had quite a few of those yesterday. They're
2-1.
Lovely back wall, from the back wall, left hand right into the bottom brick.
She missed a few of them yesterday, but then when she made them, they're at really intricate times. She has tons of power. I mean, that's another thing.
I noticed yesterday when she hit it with her right in front of herself, like the sound of the ball was just completely different. Good pick.
And that's a pretty heavy ball right there from Katrina, who also has sort of hidden power. You don't think she's going to have power, and then she snaps one off like that at your feet.
Yep.
And it gets up on you in a hurry.
Sharp out.
That one's called short. Now, there's always that
Second
sort of
serve.
feel you out moment at the very beginning when the players go back and forth, and it's sort of, I guess, kind of ironing out some nerves. You don't really see players just come firing right out of the very beginning. You kind of have to get into the flow of the game, and I think this is sort of what we're seeing.
Yep.
You might see moments like this where Catriona can kind of
Two
start
plays
to
two.
figure out the weakness and then go for those shots, and vice versa. That's a great
That's
serve.
a great serve. So that was, she lobbed one, got
3
a
plays
point.
2.
She power served, got an ace.
It's a great way to
Yep.
break that momentum right there from Ciana.
Yeah, if the ball's not extremely tight into that right wall, Ciana's gonna.
2 plays
it's
3.
gonna be dangerous return.
Nice little underhand paddle
Yeah.
And
shot. Not sure she
3
was trying to
plays
hit it
2.
that low, but it worked.
It looked like a pass shot.
So mark.
When you're
4 plays 2.
when you were on top of your game, and you're certainly just only really
Declining.
no, you're really just that personal trainer away from being there again, I think. But when you were at that moment, and you'd have a critic say, "Well, she doesn't know how to fly a ball, or she doesn't do that enough." Did that make you go in and practice those things? Because
Yes.
we've seen both Catriona and Ciana seemingly listen to their critics and go and learn exactly those shots.
Yeah. But I think as well, you already know,
Right.
and then when someone says it outright to you, you're like, okay, well, if you've noticed that and somebody else has told me that,
And I've already felt it. It's time to work on
I'm
it.
going to work on that.
Because the
Point.
big knock against Ciana used to be her left hand just wasn't developed, and all of a sudden,
It's nearly sometimes
5
better than
plays
a right.
2.
yeah, 6
Yeah.
months later, she had an amazing left-handed kill shot. The big knock on Catriona is that her fly kills, she didn't have that game, and then all of a sudden, just within a tournament, she starts working on it.
Yeah.
But, you know, her bigger knock is that she doesn't go for kill shots when the game gets tight. She starts going to
She
the
starts,
roof.
away.
yeah, and wrapping it around the walls.
But then last
2
week
plays
against
5.
Martina, it seemed like she did play more aggressive. So it's
But I think you have to against Martina.
right, because if not, you lose.
And you're going to be wiped. The floor's going to be wiped with you. I watched like the first 10 points of that game last week, and it was like 10-1, and I thought,
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
not-
what I needed to see here.
yeah, and then I come back 2.5 hours later, and it was just finishing.
Yeah,
And I missed a great game.
I've done that many times, and it's frustrating. See, that's the type of stuff that we need to see from Catriona when the game's tied at 20 or it's 18-18.
Yeah, just go for them openings.
5 plays 2.
It's another great serve, and she got the return she wanted. So Catriona's slightly starting to pull away here at 6-2, so
plays 2.
Ciana needs to hang in a wee bit here. Just ride the wave.
Not much you can do with that.
No.
That
No.
ball's just a scraper. It's
Stuck,
going to
yeah.
scrape all the way
2
down to the
plays
ground.
6.
Save your fingers.
You're just going to swing at it wherever it's going to land.
Sharp
because sometimes they make it back, and you look at yourself like, how did that? I hit that with the tip of my finger.
Second serve.
Didn't hurt. Then other times you can't play for 2 weeks because it did hurt. It's very rare that you get those back, though.
What
And
a
that's a
shot.
laser of a left hand. I mean, holy smokes. Again, that was her big knock before. Now all of a sudden she has it with power.
Like, had she missed that, I would have said, why didn't you hit it there with your right hand?
3 plays 6.
Look at that.
But why would you when you can pull that out?
Interesting. Oh, that
pass.
power is
Oh,
so
she's got it
good,
back.
and it's going to make the front wall.
And she missed it.
And then
Side
Ciana
away.
hits it in the ground. So frustrating when that happens.
Sometimes when you have too much time on the ball, it's your worst enemy.
Yeah, your
6
brain starts to
plays 3.
think of all the different things, all the
Yeah.
different options you have, and you're not thinking correctly, and you end up hitting it in the
You're
ground.
singing songs in your head as
Yeah.
you go to hit it, and you're like,
But then you rush it. Catriona ran in really quick too, and so right at the last second she decided to rush it, and she.
Side away.
But that power, you can see
Yeah.
here that's where Catriona
plays
has
6.
problems when you start pushing balls down walls.
Yeah.
And that's what Martina does to her a lot when she doesn't go for kill shots.
Yeah.
Point.
I mean, I believe that,
Rare.
Martina, Ciana, yourself are the 3 hardest hitters in women's handball. You might throw Tracy
4 plays
Davis in
6.
there,
Tracy hits it hard, yeah.
but
Martina, like, is... See, when you're trying to return a ball that's coming 90 mile an hour, and that's with her offhand, it's tough.
the leverage that she gets. And then you see the shoulder strength from Ciana. If you're not used to facing that, and you go in there and try to hit a ball, just even if it's, 2 or 3, here in America we call it miles per hour. It's a lot.
Yeah. Another
Point.
great left hand kill.
And that's a point for Ciana. Took a lot off that
5
one and
plays
went with
6.
control, and it was hit perfectly.
Yeah.
Really admire those offhanded kill shots that go down the same wall as the offhand, which is very hard to do, but you pros seem to just know how to feather it perfectly. I've done it, but I know it was a miss hit.
I'm sure it wasn't.
It was. No, I can't do it. I don't really understand how you can get your body in that position, but it feels great when you've done it and you've tried to do it.
Yeah.
I've done that a couple times, but it's not consistent.
Is your shot? No.
Catriona's deadly off the back wall, and she just a little tight there.
That was a good rally to win also.
30-second
Ciana took a
timeout.
30-second.
Smart
Score
timeout
is
here.
6 plays 6.
She played 80% of that rally with her left hand too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If she was already good, and now that this left hand is better, and if she can reduce her own hand errors, the type of errors that you just saw Catriona make, it might not be a hand error, it might be an unforced error, but if you can reduce those, which she also had a problem with that, then she's going to be really dangerous.
Yeah. And if you can win them long rallies, that was like 20, 25 shots. If you can win them longer rallies.
Okay, good to go again.
In your head, it's going to stand to you.
These rallies all seem to be very long. I mean,
yeah, they both seem to have the same game plan.
And out.
And that's those reducing those errors.
She probably needed a minute timeout there.
6 plays 6.
Well, Catriona's going to put that into her little memory bank.
She's going to slow this game
7
right down.
plays 6.
I like that coming in really close.
Just breathing on your neck.
Well, Catriona hit that ball considerably lower, and yet
2 points.
Just like that, Ciana has dropped 2 points, and it's all because of this change of serve. Now, I'd like to see Ciana come all the way up to that hash mark just to get into the grill here. And see, that kind of affected that serve too by stepping up. Just anything to throw the server off. Three in a row now.
Yep.
9 plays 6.
This is the difference between those that are in the A and those that are in the pro, or depending on how you guys or others look at it, the open and the pro. The pro player will switch up at intricate times and know when to make that change, and they're confident when they do it. They don't second guess themselves.
But sometimes it could just be for yourself to get a breather as well.
Right. Yeah, because the pace has been ground and pound, and you need to let your body rejuvenate. But just having the knowledge of knowing to do that, and the confidence too.
Yep.
A lot of players do that definition of insanity all the time, where they just stick with, I have that, a power serve down the left. And you're not generating any points from it. Just be confident when you go up to a lob serve.
Yeah.
And also practice it in practice so you know what that next shot from your opponent's going to be so you can work on what you're going to do next. The pros that I saw when I was growing up would all change it up on their serve, and I was so intimidated by that they had a plan and I didn't, and that played into it. That's a great pass.
Side away.
But just knowing I'm standing there watching somebody change up to that serve, and I would instantly say, how come they do that and I can't? And I was actually questioning why I couldn't do that, in my brain when I get up there. Now when I do it, I feel so confident and good about it.
But then for Ciana here, she also needs to know, what can I do with this this serve here?
And out.
And she's returning it well, but I think Catriona's just clipping the wall a tiny bit. So Ciana's able to get in with her right hand and feather it back down the left hand wall.
Her first 3 were not returned well, but the last 2 have been okay. And that means that Catriona's going to have to change the serve again. But right now I think she's getting the look she's wanting, but she's lost a couple rallies.
So we're back to 9-8, so there's only a point between them.
8 plays 9.
That looked like it came really close to hitting that camera. Do you practice, or are there other women players that hop the ball when they serve or during the rallies? Is that something that you even think about doing?
Yes. The only person who I have played recently, which is very noticeable, would be Martina. And I think it's just her natural swing.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that she's a lefty and it's a different angle and she hits the ball hard, that was 2 bounces.
And even when she hits it with her right, it just seems to take off. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she's doing it on purpose. I just think that's a natural, whatever way she tends to hit the ball. But there's nobody else obvious who would. Danielle can.
It's pretty wicked.
Oh, it's.
Yeah. She's the only one I can really think of. You hadn't played Ashley Moeller, who has that little trickery
11 plays 8
aspect to her game. And I was wondering, when you play someone like Danielle and you go back home to Ireland, because I know you played her in Portland in 2016.
She took a game off me.
She played like the best you've ever seen.
How many aces did she take?
Amazing.
It was, and there was some times I just wanted to
first time out.
Give her
because
the
this is amazing, right?
Unreal,
do you go back and say, I'm going to just see if I could do this, because
at the time I couldn't, because
your shoulder.
Yeah, so if I turned my hand one way, it would give me searing pain. And then, I think my serve's it's okay. I can have a natural with the underhand serve, which kind of works well. So I don't think I would change it at this point. But I would certainly, if I was coaching anyone, I would encourage people to, just try and put a wrinkle on it, or, just keeps people thinking.
Well, you've watched Danny Cordova play, and he's got that amazing wrinkle on his shot. So, anyway, that's the reason why I brought that up. But we were earlier talking to Ciana, and she shared what she had her focus on today against Catriona. This is what she had to say earlier.
I've been working on return to serve, which I felt wasn't my strong point yesterday, so I really want to focus on that today, just getting the serves coming around rather than straight off the back wall. I hit a good few of those yesterday, and just going for the kill whenever there's the opportunity, not to play to just stay in it, just to play to keep pushing ahead.
Played her a few times. Have you found a certain shot to be her weakness that you might pick on?
I wouldn't say a certain shot, but when I play aggressively and offensively, that's when I seem to do best, rather than trying to keep playing the rallies and keeping them going, because Catriona can wear you down with that.
How much would winning this title mean to you?
It would mean a lot, but I'm just kind of focusing on every point as it comes rather than thinking of the outcome.
Guess that's what you have to do to stay focused.
9 plays 11.
9 serves 11 here. This is pretty much what the doctor ordered, I think.
Great serve.
I think if you brought the pros in earlier and they said 9-11, Ciana's going to be serving first
10
game.
plays 11.
Does that surprise you? And someone with most of the experts would probably say that's about right.
Yeah.
Maybe she has a couple more points than we thought, but yeah.
Second serve.
But I think it was crucial for Ciana to kind of just hang in for as long as she could, and I think if she got to 9-10, she has a strong chance here.
Well,
that's another great shot.
See, that's the execution right there, and I believe we're tied.
Yeah, we're tied at 11.
11 plays 11.
I mean, this is where champions are made right here.
And out.
I might have said that a little early.
And that's where.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. If you're at home listening.
If you're listening, Ciana.
11.
It's a great setup.
Boy, that power.
Watch it.
Play it again, play it again.
That's
Play it up.
a good call from the ref.
Yeah.
I
I
contend
think both players had about 3 chances to finish
Yeah.
that rally there.
the pro player knows exactly where that ball is going to go, and they're not really
11 serves,
impeded
11.
by that, but you just have to call it.
Yeah.
Sharp ball.
Catriona going for an ace there. You can really
Second
see
serve.
Ciana stepping up her power here. If she doesn't get the kill shot, she might get the pass shot on the same play.
Great
That's
shot.
beautiful.
Good point.
You know, that's with an offhand, and this game is hard anyway, but to make that shot and execute it with an offhand from that angle on the court at this point
12, plays
And that
11.
far back.
takes moxie. 12 to 11, going to 15. You have to win by 2. See, that's the first time we've seen that serve from Catriona. She brings it out right at the intricate time, gets the exact return she
13,
wanted.
serves 11.
Unforced error. She goes right back to it again. That ball had a huge hop on it.
So every time Catriona has slowed her serve right down is where she's got most of her points. I think it's just thrown Ciana off of you because she's used to having the shot come at her thick and fast, and then all of a sudden it's slowed right down.
Point.
And here it is, game point.
Game point.
So surprised right there. Catriona had that opening down the right wall, and she decided to throw the ball around
Yeah.
and got lucky when it checked up on that left
14
side wall.
game ball, serves 11.
Let's see what happens here. It's going to be tough. Nope, ball checks out. Thought it was going to slide, and that's
Play
going to be a
it.
side out.
See, where I would have moved my body to take that with my right hand,
11 plays, 14.
and she just pinged it with her left.
The mark.
There's the first one, 12 to 14. You have to hand it to her. She went for that shot
Yep.
and got it.
12 plays,
Catriona ran
14.
it well too.
Yeah, Catriona was right on top of it. And with the power that Ciana has, it's hard to go overplay a shot like that because
Yeah.
she can just pop one down a wall. That one just ate
Nope.
her up, and now Catriona with that really good serve down the right. Is she going to go
14
power, or
plays
is she
12.
going to go back up to a lob?
She's
Back
going
to
to go
power.
for the ace, I would say, first. There's your
Boy.
setup. And she
Oh, and she hits it
Yeah.
into the ground, and the first
Lost
game
it.
goes to Catriona Casey. And boy, I'm telling you, Ciana had the look, exactly what you wanted. That was a long rally.
Yeah.
And I know these rallies are wearing on these players right now, but Ciana got exactly what she wanted. And I think right at the last second, she just sort of let up and was going to try to feather that,
Yeah.
and it threw her swing off or something. Not quite sure. I don't know if we have a replay of that shot at the very end. It was such a long rally that we have to kind of go through the whole rally to get to that replay. But you can tell just at the very last second, instead of keeping that aggression that she had and just pounding that ball, which is what she, in retrospect, should have done,
Yeah.
I think she tried to feather it and guide it in.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's-
again, she had too much time. It seems to be the easier shots, so she's
Right.
shanking them a bit.
And Ciana loses that one 12 to 15, but it's nice to see Catriona pull that off and get that first game win. You know, last night was a pretty cool night, as they had a great banquet at one of these, I guess you would say, gaming centers, but it was rented out by Joey Mucha, who is one of the tournament organizers. And you can see Ciana there in that picture. All of the handball players getting very competitive as they were playing last night at this warehouse full of games and fun in San Francisco. Joey Mucha behind this whole ordeal. want to thank him for organizing everything and getting all the players together. I heard it was one of the best nights that they've had at banquets in many years, as the pro players all came out and enjoyed their time here in San Francisco. Instead of those stuffy banquets where the old folks get up there and talk about themselves, instead the players were able to compete against those fans and the players themselves and the sponsors, and it was a lot of fun. Enjoyable time last night at the rental hall or gaming banquet area that they had, which was like a Chuck E. Cheese. You were at that.
Yeah.
And when you were there, did you beat anybody or challenge anybody at foosball or?
I played Megan McCann. She's another girl from Armagh. We played what is it called? It's like a puck, and it's air hockey.
Okay, air hockey. Yeah.
I beat her at that. That was good. And then I tried to play, is it skee ball?
Yeah, I heard skee ball is what they call it. I would have never guessed that was a name, but
I'm really poor at that.
I heard that.
And my first instinct was to go for 100, which is the tiny at the top corners. I never got them.
Well, Joey, who runs this, is like a national champion. There it is. There's skee ball there. And I heard that, was it Fiona Tolley or Megan McCann actually got the all-time record on the machine, and it was her first time playing.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I mean.
And there was basketball hoops as well. The two girls were, I think the two of them were challenging each other the whole night for that. But they were really good at. So I actually said you should take up basketball and give handball a miss. But no, it was.
There it is.
Yeah.
And you can see, obviously, on the machine there.
That was really good fun.
Yeah. Nice to see the players and the sponsors getting along and actually seeing the players
game.
all at one venue like that is very odd because that just doesn't happen very often.
0-0.
Those are the type of memories you'll always remember. Game number 2 now underway as Catriona Casey takes that first one 15 to 12.
0-0.
Got a little tense there at the very end, and it would have gotten much more intense if Ciana could have executed that big setup where she hit it in the ground, and she can't dwell on it now. It has to continue forward.
0-0.
Had some crazy games yesterday with a lot of lopsided score lines, but some were really close, but they could have been worse. You know that Killian Carroll was down big, and he came back and won. And
there's some great rallies in that game yesterday.
Some of the best I can't even imagine what Killian feels like today when he wakes up. If you watched yesterday, then you know what I'm talking about. I just had never seen anybody dive that much. I mean, I've seen Killian do it, but that was just remarkable what I saw yesterday.
Usually you only see like one dive in a rally instead of 10.
Yeah, I think there was 11 in one rally yesterday. And then he went 3 times to the floor on the next one.
Point.
You're like, where does this guy get his will?
2 plays 0.
I hit a bad shot, and I walked back to the returners area and like, well, that's over. I didn't hit the shot that I wanted. They end up missing their shot, and now I'm back in the play, and I'm thinking, why am I walking back here? And he's up there diving like this. I mean, I hope it's an inspiration for those watching. We're going to see him in the finals after this.
That's a great shot.
It's a point.
Check Catriona pinned to the wall. The whole right side corner.
1 plays 2.
Gives you a lot of confidence when you have a player pinned behind you.
Yeah.
Even if they're ranked number 1 in the world, it's still one of those things where you just know that you have to do it, and you do it.
And out.
Those balls are tough. 9 times out of 10, you guess exactly where that ball's going to go, and that's the one time where it
cracks.
It tricks you.
Sharp ball. Second serve.
Trying to slow the game down a bit earlier this time. Got lucky.
That's where
One
power
plays
can
two.
help you, because
Yeah.
even when Ciana had to make a really quick reaction to punch that
Sharp
ball
ball.
and go with a 2-ball pass, she wasn't really in a position to hit it with all of her power, but she had
Second serve.
enough and a
Yeah.
lot more than most people would at that position, and just clipped the side wall.
Yeah, Catriona set up with her left.
Should put this away.
Just left it up.
Now you're rooming with Ciana, I believe,
Mhm.
and during that, in between game, nice left-handed
Point.
kill there, in between timeout of the first game and second game, you went over and had a
2 plays 2.
couple words with her.
Yeah.
You're obviously analyzing her game. Were you giving words of encouragement, or were you actually
Point.
strategically talking about stuff?
Bit of both,
Three
really.
plays two.
I think she's playing really well. She's keeping up great with the pace. I just kind of said, be conscious when Catriona's slowing the ball down, because that's where she got most of her points in the first game. So she kind of has to focus in a wee bit more whenever the game's starting to slow down. But other than that, I think she's playing really well. The two of them seem to have the same game plan, where they're trying to keep each other back in the court, and they're
4
playing around the
plays
wall
2.
and trying to push each other back. So, but no, I think she's playing well. Just told her to
Sharp ball.
stick in and hang in for as long as she can.
Katrina's not happy right
Second
now
serve.
because she
No.
thinks that Ciana took 2 bounces but didn't appeal it, didn't say anything. She's actually walking back talking to herself, and she's still not happy right now. I don't know if you saw that play earlier. Not to interrupt you.
Was it 2 bounces?
It looked like it, but it doesn't mean it was, because
Yeah.
boy, even as a
Sometimes you
player,
really just can't tell.
the player most of the time can't even tell. And that seems like it's the oddest thing ever to say, because how could you not know? But
Oh. Yeah, because sometimes when you're going for those, your eyes are
Mark.
closed.
yeah, you
And you're
you
just
don't
hoping
feel
for
it hit the
best.
ground.
No.
There's most of the
5
time
plays
when you
2.
call the 2 bounce, it actually was good,
Yeah.
and you did get it, but you'll call 2 bounce on
I
yourself.
seen that yesterday.
Sharp
Was
ball.
it Luis Cordova?
Yeah.
He called a double bounce, and then when you watch it back in the
1
replay,
agrees, 1 disagrees.
Clearly
wasn't.
wasn't,
Second
yeah.
serve.
It's just that you say, I didn't think I could have got it, but yet I got it, but I don't want to cheat anybody
I
who
know.
also felt the same way
I
I
know.
did. You just call it against yourself. But that was the
Nope.
opposite of that. She actually felt like she didn't get it. It didn't look like she got it, but she very well could have. I mean,
although I would prefer to say that I didn't get
2
it.
plays 5.
yeah.
Better not to be known as someone who picks up double bounces.
Yeah, it's just a tough one to get over, because you still don't know. I mean, why would you even want to call a double bounce? I mean, or take one. Nobody wants to, but it's just one of those things. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's the moment has passed. You can't blame somebody if they don't know
3
they didn't
plays
get it.
5.
The difference was, after Ciana hit it, she paused, and that was like,
Mark.
Yeah.
well, you must have known
You're
something, but
doubting
you just
yourself.
played through it because you're told to play through
4
it.
plays 5.
That was a great ace serve there from Catriona. She went
Katrina's
for
going to stick with that if she's going to
Yeah.
find points with it. And there's a 30-second timeout. Smart call
5 plays 5. 30-second timeout.
from Ciana.
Was she 2-5 up, 3-5 up?
I
And
believe
now
so,
it's-
yeah.
Now we're all square.
Very quick
Yep.
points here. And they're off that power serve where Catriona really wasn't getting a lot of points off it. Not direct points, maybe during the rally. So it's nice to see her go back and all of a sudden find a
Yep.
little love there, but we'll see what kind of adjustments Ciana makes.
Okay, time in. Score is 5 plays 5. Sharp ball. Second serve.
This second serve is just as dangerous as the first sometimes.
It's probably
See?
worse.
Point.
It's worse. I would not want her to get a second serve.
Yeah.
I'd be appealing her
Yeah.
short balls
6 plays
if
5.
if the ref called them, just
Yeah.
hoping that the line judges would overturn them.
And she goes back to the power serve, but I would kind of stick to the.
That's interesting. But she did get those 2 points off the power serve.
Oh, I kind of just spun away from Ciana a bit there.
That ball reversed away from Ciana, and I think
7
it's
plays
because
5.
Catriona hit it with an overhand punch fist or some type of English off that. Not sure what it was.
Another great serve.
Ciana has not been able to get Catriona out of the front court.
No.
This is the first time I've seen sort of a lineup change. And that's what happens.
And out.
You get your server out of that front court. And a flat mouse, amazing kill shot from
5
Ciana.
plays 7. And out.
You'd have thought she would have went down the left there, but she hit it right in front of Ciana again. I would have appealed that serve.
Yeah, interesting.
7 plays
That was
5.
short. No,
Wow.
great serve.
Double bounce the back wall on a serve. That's an
8
amazing
plays
serve.
5.
If you're going to be able to do that. Hard to double bounce the back wall. That was an amazing serve.
Sharp ball.
You can't hit it too high. You can't hit it
Second
too
serve.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hit it too low. It has to be just struck perfectly with the right pace. And if it hits the sidewall and checks up, that helps. That seems defensive. Oh my goodness. Great shot there from Ciana. That defensive shot from, I was just in the moment of saying that was an amazing
Yeah.
defensive shot from
5 plays
Catriona.
8.
Underhand paddle with the little scoop and a slide off your
Drop
hand
off.
to allow that ball to cut the front wall and slide the left
Second
wall.
serve.
Didn't matter though,
Didn't
because
matter.
Ciana turned it around and hit a perfect kill shot.
And out.
Another unforced error.
Not sure what she was trying to do there, but it didn't work.
8 plays 5.
8-5 game 2. First game going to Catriona Casey. 15-12.
Timeout, first timeout.
That's a full timeout there. Earlier
9-5.
today, we were able to talk to Catriona Casey, and she actually mentions the last time she and Ciana met on a handball court. She was with Cara, and this is what she had to say.
The last time we played was the final of the Tucson Pro Stop in November, and she really pushed me in that one. I was quite lucky to get away with 2 straight games there. She's a very tough player, and I know I'm going to have to play my best. I'm a bit nervous, but looking forward to it.
What is something that you maybe took away strategy-wise from that Tucson match that you might pull into today?
I don't necessarily think I learned anything particularly new, which is probably bad, but I probably didn't get enough kills. I was going for them, I feel like, but wasn't making them, and probably went away from that tactic then, which was not the right idea, I think, because she's not going to tire. She has good fitness levels, and you know, there aren't many weaknesses in her game at all, actually, so I just have to play my best.
There she is, Catriona, talking about what she needs to do to defeat Ciana today. Yeah, playing her best, I guess that's really what you can do. There's not a lot of weaknesses on either part. I mean, the only weakness is just the player themselves,
Yeah.
maybe being
Okay,
frustrated
score
with a
is
certain
9 serves 5.
run, but not necessarily in execution. You can't really just say there's a definitive hole,
Yeah.
you know, here in the left hand or offhand, up high, down low, whatever. It's just, they both do amazing things at certain times.
I think Ciana's just getting a bit tired. Her legs look a bit heavier than Catriona's, especially in the longer rallies. You know, she's making the silly
10 plays 5.
mistakes at the very end of those long rallies.
Yeah, you get tired and then you start going for shots that's out of your
Yeah.
system. You know, it's like gambling. You know, you're there at the table for a long time. You have a good system. Everything's going well, and then finally you just,
Yeah.
you know, you've had a couple
5 plays
just want
10.
it to
losses
end.
and you just throw everything in.
Yeah.
Say you know, and you just break your system. Her system could be broke at times, but she's still so powerful. I think she can do a lot of things, even in this match still. Catriona is so consistent, and that's a screen.
Play that again.
Ball
Play
again.
that again.
this serve that Ciana was, this was a serve that she hit me with yesterday. The majority of it was like a slow paddle into the left. She's not going to go for it. Oh, she is.
Yeah, I like that. It's so.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
was
have
kind of
many-
stuck between three. Will I go in? Will I wait?
Yeah.
Will I come off the back wall?
And your options of how aggressive you can be with it are really down to
Yeah.
nothing. You can't really do much with it. I mean, unless you take a wild shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you're defensive 100% on that serve, and then you're sitting there waiting
10
for it
plays
to try to
5.
figure out what you want to do at the last second. So
Yeah.
it's kind of tough. It gets you totally out of the mindset of I'm going to go for a kill shot. But this should be, those type of serves, Ciana might want to take some chances and instead of flipping it up around the court. This is a nice ceiling game between both of these players here.
Great finish.
And a
Yep.
little fist
I
bump
think
there.
she needed that one.
Yeah, she needed it for a lot of reasons. And one,
5 plays 10.
confidence.
Yeah.
You see a little quick fist pump from her
Yeah.
saying, I did this exactly the way I was supposed to. See, it's part of the system that she's got herself into. And maybe she learned something there. Between the side out, now 2 straight points. That's 3. Real quick and easy
6 plays 10.
controlling, moments there for Ciana.
Oh,
That's what she doesn't need, though.
no.
She's been playing so good, and then all of a sudden, Catriona gets a crack over there on that right side. And we
10
saw
plays
that in the
6.
first game, too. Momentum break off of a silly shot.
Left that up.
Yeah, for some reason, Ciana held up there. If she would have just kept going forward, she would have probably got a
11
left
plays
hand
6.
on that. She's even talking to herself about that. 11-6.
Oh,
You know what that was? She set up for that, and right at the last second when she bent over, her backside hit the side wall. And
she should have taken that with her
12
left.
plays 6.
but she did so, yeah, she did everything exactly right. But right at the last second, she let it drop a little bit more, and she's going to put it away. And then her backside hit the wall, and it just kind of moved
her
her
out a
hand.
bit.
Yeah, it moved her hand a little bit. She just missed it. Wow.
Great kill shot.
And that's a timeout call
Yeah.
there from
Timeout.
Ciana.
Ciana. Yeah, it's a pretty smart call, I
13-6.
guess. Might have been a couple points too late, but she's frustrated with herself. She had the opening and she had a lot of time to think about it, but she certainly didn't execute when she needed to, and she knows it. These are the good, losses when you have one like this, if it is going to come out that way, because you can go back and say, I'm just as good. I
Yeah.
felt just as good, and I just didn't execute.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just the difference is, it's Ciana's mistakes that she could definitely work on in training and stuff. It's just a couple of shots that she shouldn't be going for that she is going for. She missed 3 easy ones where she should be, putting them away. So it's not as if Catriona's doing anything spectacular. It's just Ciana's own game has beaten her a wee bit here.
Yeah, and that's
But it's not
interesting.
over yet.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because if she were able to execute those, there's no telling what
Yeah.
kind of tricks that Catriona would also have to
Yeah.
adjust to that.
True.
It could very well be the same score, but the confident level after this tournament for Ciana is going to be much higher, because
Yeah.
now she knows she can hang,
Yeah.
which I think she already knew anyway, but this is confirmation. It's been a while since we've had one of these pro stops, since Tucson in November. So women, though they have other tournaments, you're playing the number 1 player in the world here.
Scores
Yeah.
13 plays 6.
And it's been a long time since the two of them last played. November.
Yeah. Wow, that's a nice shot right
Yeah.
there. Wide corner cue with the right.
Game point.
14 possible game points, serve 6.
Not only game point, match point, and a chance to win back-to-back
To back.
titles for Catriona Casey.
Finish
And
it
she
with an
does
ace.
it on an ace serve to the left, hits that crack, gets the point, and we're going to just jump onto that court and get an interview with our champion who won here in 2015 by defeating Jessica Gawley 15-0, 15-0. First time that's happened on the Pro Tour, and then she comes back with that crack serve to get that final point as we go out and make the final point with Kara Mack.
Our champion here in San Francisco, congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm delighted.
Take me through that one. You said you had to play your best and you came out here pounding.
Yeah, actually, it was like 5-all in the first game, and I could really feel like my heart beating. It was tough going. Like, Ciana's a real hard hitter. Not only that, but I think she has really improved her serve as well. She seems to be putting a bit of hop on it, which is tough to get a good return on. So really, she missed a couple towards the end of the first game that gave me a little bit of breathing space, and then I feel like I was shooting a bit better in the second game. So yeah, I'm delighted because she's a really good player. I had a good win in Ireland last weekend, and I just wanted to keep that going and not have a lull after that. So yeah.
She did that same thing in game 2, came up, was leading you 5-2, and then you pushed forward, and that was the end of it, it looked like.
Yeah, thank God. I think I went up 2-0, then yeah, she got 5 in a row. So she's very dangerous. She was shooting very well off the back wall as well. So yeah, I'm not sure really what I did differently. Probably in the first game, my left hand I missed a lot, although she was keeping it really close to the sidewall, so I wasn't able to get much of a swing on it. But I tried to be a bit more aggressive with my left hand because she was shooting well left to left, so yeah.
For you, how much importance is it to take it in 2 games?
Very important, yeah, because you never know what's going to happen in the third game, and it's a lot of pressure. So yeah, really happy to get out in 2.
I've been holding this long enough. This is yours. It is beautiful. How much does this win in particular mean to you?
I'm really happy. It's 4 years since I was here at the Olympic Club, and everyone is really nice, and they remember that last time, and obviously I remember them, and it's great to be back. And before we finish, I have to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom at home in Ireland. It's Mother's Day in Ireland, not over here, just in case people are like, what is she talking about? But yeah, Happy Mother's Day, and just thanks to everybody who helps me out. Thanks to my family for their support. Thanks to the New York Athletic Club for their sponsorship, and O'Neill's gloves as well, or Owen gloves. We have O'Neill's championship back home, and thanks to WPH for another great tournament, and I really look forward to Salt Lake City in May.
Yes, congratulations to you. Your mom, a sweetheart. We got a chance to meet her at Worlds.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day, Mrs. Casey. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. And, yeah.
Back to you guys.
Catriona had a whole laundry list of people to thank there.
It's like an
Ashley.
Oscar.
Yeah, she wins this one by defeating Ciana Nee Kareen in 2 straight. It was a good fight by Ciana, but she was unable to catch up with Catriona and take her to a tiebreaker or even win the match.
Yeah.
A fun one to call, though. So first place goes to Catriona, second to Ciana. Third, you and Fiona Tolley tied for third.
Yep.
Fifth place goes to Tracy Davis. Courtney Pachot takes 6th. That pretty much wraps up the women's bracket for the weekend.
Yeah, I think that probably ended up how we probably would have imagined before we came here.
Yeah, about right.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the rankings right now. It happens to be exactly perfect. I want to thank you for stepping in and doing this with us. We have the men's final coming up right around the corner. I know you're going to watch this.
I'm
It's going to be
excited
a
for that,
lot of fun.
Yeah.
As we'll have another great match brought to you by the World Players of Handball, Chris Grad, Linda Manning, Kara Mack, Shay Lowenstein, my broadcast partner here, Ashleen Riley. My name is Dave Vincent. Thanks for tuning in to ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. We'll have more continued coverage next. Stick with us.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig. It's